Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, Sloka 66, Part 25. Sarva-dharmān parityajya, ekaṁ śaraṇaṁ vraja, ahaṁ sarva-pāpebhyo, mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucaḥ. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. There are 6 essential aspects, limbs of exclusive surrender to the Supreme Lord. Acceptance of the favorable, rejection of the unfavorable, the faith that He will surely protect me, embracing Lord's guardianship, complete dependence on Him, and the perception of one's utter helplessness without Him. In these 6, in the previous session, we learned about the first 2, anukulyasya sankalpaha, pratikulyasya varjanam. Today, we will learn about the third limb, mahavishvasam, rakshishyati iti vishvasaha, absolute faith and confidence that the Lord will surely protect the Atma, the soul, and certainly grant His lotus feet. Having a firm faith that Krishna will give all protection is very important in the process of Sharanagati. We have come to Him with no other hopes. We have come to Him with no other credits. So this faith of Mahavishvasa Purvakam is key element in Sharanagati. When we have that firm faith, then doing or accepting things which are favorable and rejecting that which are unfavorable becomes easier. One may say, well, if I just have to do those things which are favorable for Krishna and reject those things which are unfavorable for Krishna, what about me? What will happen to my life? Can't I have what is favorable for me and what is unfavorable for me? If answer is yes, we can't, and that's where the problem is. That's why I don't want to surrender. Then I will not have individuality of liking and disliking. It has to be everything to do with Krishna. Well, if we want to continue with our own program, then that is not Sharanagati. That is not surrendering. It is more independent, not dependent on Krishna. If we have made final decision that Krishna is our goal and we want to attain Him, then that is our life. To follow what Krishna likes and dislikes. What we have spoken so far will only make sense to the hearer if the person has decided to go back to Krishna sooner, in this very lifetime. Otherwise, all the subjects will be impractical for those who are not serious in their life to go back to Krishna. We have been taking many lifetimes, life after life after life, many different types of bodies, sometime human, sometime lower species. We have been independent all the time, trying to fulfill our likes and dislikes, and the result is another life. For a change, this life we can give it to Krishna by following His likes and dislikes. If we do so, we don't have to see another life. Sometimes we hear, even among aged ones, saying, maybe this lifetime is not for me to go back to Krishna. That is simply because they are still attached to their likes and dislikes and fail to develop that firm conviction that Krishna is the only protector. The process of surrendering generally, commonly, widely done through a bona fide spiritual master, guru, and that process is called initiation. Once we get initiated, then obviously there must be some difference before initiation and after initiation. If we say, I will be the same, then it makes no difference by taking initiation. It makes no difference between one is initiated and one is non-initiated. Even after getting initiated, if our thoughts have not changed, our speech has not changed, our behavior, external behaviors has not changed, that simply means we don't have that strong desire to attain Krishna. Sometimes we think that what we are doing devotionally is an extracurricular activity, whereas my life outside of my services, like taking care of my family, job, etc., are the main activities. Sometimes we get senior devotees, sannyasis, coming into the town for extended period and gives lectures, sometimes even more than one lecture during the weekends. That time everyone is so fully engaged in various services, accommodating the devotee, cooking for the devotee, taking the sannyasi devotee to different programs, and providing all necessary things. The whole congregation is involved for that entire week. After that sannyasi leaves, we think that now our life is back to normal routine. That means when that sannyasi was here, our life was not normal, not natural. When he leaves, our lives becomes natural, normal, usual, with regular routines. Because attending morning programs, evening programs, involving in various services, when that sannyasi was here, these were all unusual, not normal, not my routine. Now that he is gone, I am back to my normal life. I am to my natural lifestyle. But the truth is that what is natural to Atma is being fully engaged in Krishna consciousness all the time. What is unnatural to Atma is to be engaged in worldly thing and not be engaged in Krishna consciousness. We generally think that going to temple, hearing to lectures, serving at the temple are all extra activities in our life. They are all add-ons to my routine, normal life, like taking care of the family, going to work, doing shopping, having some family entertainments, etc. We must be fully convinced that doing devotional service is not an extra activity. It is an essential activity to the Atma. This is the place, this earth is the place where we are rehearsing our devotional activities. So when we return back to the spiritual world, we can perform our devotional service flawless. When we are eagerly waiting for the opportunity to serve the temple, then we are in our natural position. Whereas if we think, oh my God, I must do this service. If I go to the temple, I will be pulled into some services to help in the kitchen, to mop the floor, wash the pots, then that will impact my normal life. My time will be spent over there, rather me focusing on my regular activities. It is interesting to observe that initially we all take up the process of bhakti Krishna consciousness with great eagerness and involve in lot of services. Sometimes even beg to take up some services. But as the year goes, it's amazing to note that the temple starts begging to the devotees to take up some services. Unfortunately, this is not the healthy progress in Krishna consciousness, because what becomes more important is one's personal life, personal goals, personal achievements, forgetting why I have taken up this Krishna consciousness, failing to stick on to the commitments of Krishna consciousness. So coming to the point, thinking that doing services, attending devotional programs like kirtan, lectures, seminars, etc. are not normal, natural. Those are stretching ourselves from our routine life. But the fact is, what is natural for the Atma is to be happy. What is unnatural for the Atma is to suffer. That which makes the Atma happy is Krishna consciousness. That which makes Atma suffer is worldly consciousness. We have been given the free will. It is our duty to keep the Atma happy. Make sure the Atma doesn't suffer. That means the more we get engaged in Krishna consciousness, we become happier. And the more we become engaged in worldly consciousness, we will become sufferer. Also, that which comes by itself is said to be natural, organic. That which we strive to get is unnatural, artificial. Krishna consciousness is natural, whereas other things are unnatural. Why? Because we have to work hard to bring some happiness, doing some other activities. Many things that we are doing right now in our life are unnecessary necessities. And the fact is, they are not natural. We forcefully strive for them and hold on to them, thinking those are essential for us in our life. If we don't have these things, if we don't do those things, then it's not normal, it is not natural. We think if we take up Krishna consciousness in full, then we are not natural. We are somewhat different from others, and we fear we are missing something, or we will miss something by taking up Krishna consciousness. One may say, all these things are very nice to hear, but if I focus only in Krishna, his likes and dislikes, anukulyam and pratikulyam, then what about my family? Who will provide them their necessities? Who will take care of them? Well, this is another illusion that we all have, thinking that we are the ones who takes care of our family. The fact is that the family will be happy with or without us. Their routine will continue, for sure, guaranteed. Certainly there will be a sense of absence, there will be a loss in the family, but life will continue. Who knows, the family may be much happier without us, with full freedom. Well, what will happen to the children without father? What will happen to children without their mother? Krishna is everyone's father. Krishna is everyone's mother. Okay, what about one who lost their husband? That is also Krishna. Krishna is the only true husband of everyone. So those who have lost their husbands must take complete shelter of Krishna as their husbands, and he will take care. Nothing to worry. One may say, well, I'm not worried about me. I am worried about my husband who's departed. We should know that we are in the queue to be departed. The person who has departed, based on his karma, is been placed appropriately. Now, let us focus on our Krishna consciousness, our life, so that we don't need to get another husband in next life, another wife in next life. Let's make Krishna as our only husband. So the point that is being made here is, when we think we are the one who takes care of our family, then that implies that we have svatantriya buddhi, independent nature. The whole idea of Sharanagati is to get rid of that independent nature and become dependent on Krishna. Actually, it is not hard to understand this. All we have to do is just sit quietly for some time and think about our life. We were born to someone, a parent. We grew, we studied, we found a job, we found a spouse, we had children, we worked hard to bring up the children, we grew old, and we die, and again repeat. So when we sit and think about our life, and when we sit and discuss with those other surrendered souls, devotees, about the truth of life, then we will come to our sense. It all will make sense that what I have been thinking so far throughout my life to be essential, necessary, and natural are actually inessential, unnecessary, and unnatural. All these days I have been only categorizing things to be essential, necessary, and natural based on my body and ignored my Atma. What is essential, necessary, and natural to the body is actually inessential, unnecessary, and unnatural to the Atma. And what is essential, necessary, and natural to the Atma is inessential, unnecessary, and unnatural to the body. Krishna consciousness is essential, necessary, and natural, whereas other things that we do out of Krishna consciousness are inessential, unnecessary, and unnatural. Unless this is understood, we will not become serious in our Krishna consciousness. And not just understanding, but that understanding must become firm conviction. That firm conviction takes us to the next level, where even when we are engaged in other activities like going to work, taking care of the family, etc., we will still be in Krishna consciousness. Though we are engaged in other activities, our buddhi will not be over there, rather will be present with Krishna. One may ask a question, if my consciousness, if my buddhi is not at the work that I do, but in Krishna, then how will I be able to do a good job? How can I accomplish what I have taken as a task at work if I don't focus in the work that I do? If my thoughts are diverted, distracted, I won't be productive. Let's see what the answer in our next session. Thank you. Hare Krishna.